Adit, you see, let's touch upon the big Hormuz nuance. This is the most important aspect politically and economically for the entire world. Iran is carefully changing the language. I was listening to the Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson today. It knows that the word toll, it sounds like, a blackmail. So service charges for their administrative work, that's what they've shifted to. And that distinction, it matters globally because just like the general was telling us, perception matters on the global stage as well. 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran officially imposed transit tolls. Let's say if it does so, it would trigger massive legal, military, and diplomatic backlash, and the energy markets would panic as well. And with this change of word from the word tolls to service charges, they tried to play it down to the markets as well. So publicly, there's a lot of flexibility, but behind the doors, red lines are being protected, needless to say.
Of course, the red lines are being breached, but then who's actually going to be paying for all of the damages caused by the Americans in Iran? How are we expecting Iran to rebuild all of the damages caused by the American onslaught? Because America is not lifting any sanctions. America is not providing any financial prudence to Iran, to the Iranian regime at this point. So they will have to cough up the money from somewhere. And the only monies that they can actually get from at this point is by holding the Strait of Hormuz as leverage, which is a new norm set by the Iranians as of February 28th, 2026. This was not a norm prior to this. Even before this, when Iran was attacked by the Americans and the Israelis, they never went down to actually holding the Strait of Hormuz as hostage. So this is a new norm that they know that they can hold leverage and they can successfully ensure that the rest of the world continues to pay for it. So they will continue to do that, which is why even though Iran has been battered militarily, strategically they are extremely emboldened. It is a new norm that the Americans have now set because of their ill-planned and ill-conceived motion and their war mechanism against the Iranian regime. Now, going forward into this particular deal, a lot of people are saying that this is a 50-50 deal, this is a 60-40 deal. I think the Iranians are very happy to wait it out. I mean, if you see the urgency to get this done is more on the American side rather than the Iranian side. And the Iranian side, because all of the senior leaders are all in hiding. They are in bunkers where there is absolutely no communication. The communication is sort of vague. It's sort of broken up where couriers are basically liaising between them so that the intelligence services are not able to gather their precise locations, and as a consequence there is an immense amount of delay on the Iranian side, which is why the Trump regime is sporadically seen to try and see to expedite this particular deal, and which is why Trump seems like that boy who cried wolf. And he cries wolf every Sunday, every weekend to say that we are inching closer to the deal, only to soften up the markets. But when the markets open up on Monday, you actually find that nothing concrete has come off from the negotiations that have happened between the Iranian side and the Americans. And the Pakistani side is basically playing fiddle to the Americans, just to say that we are trying to help, we are trying to facilitate,
Right on.
but nothing's actually coming off it.